How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're going ahead and discuss something that I talked about in the previous two videos. I don't know what order I'm uploading. I don't care. And I know you guys don't care either. But I talked about how back in the day I used to watch Two Broke Girls, and there was a guy that lived in a dumpster. It was a really fancy dumpster. Well, I think I found the dumpster that may top that one. And the girl he was dating was pretty good looking. So maybe that's the thing that to do nowadays is to get a nice fancy dumpster. Maybe that's what makes the girls want it. I don't know. I can't figure it out myself, but got two kids. Anyways, let's dive into it. So this is the beautiful dumpster that this man's been living in or has built. It's got all kinds of features here we're going to go ahead and discuss, but you can see on first look here, it looks like a nice secure door and all kinds of. The only thing I don't like about it is still it's got the grabbers for where it can be dumped. And it still has where the truck can just grab it and dump it. Maybe they do that for easy movement. They ask the garbage guy, hey, can you move that real quick for us? It's got wheels. It's got wheels. But it looks like it's got an upper deck. I think I would have picked a bigger dumpster for an upper deck. But I like the awning. And so far, the fire extinguisher. What's going to burn? There's no walls that... maybe it's the bedding. I don't know. Let's go ahead and keep on going in here. Gregory Clowen is the homeowner, and we want to thank him for letting me cover this story as well. I didn't ask him, but hey, I'm sure he's okay with it because I'm talking about your product. All right, here we go. It can be easily moved around, obviously, with wheels. It's got spotlights. What are all them pipes up there, though? Is that for gas? Or does it create its own gas? Methane gas? That's a good question. Anyways, let's see. It's got a toilet. There's most of these little houses don't have toilets. So that's a very interesting one. We'll have to see if that has running water. And a shower. It appears to be an outdoor shower. Who wants to shower in the alleyways of New York City? You know, already dangerous enough. I can remember one time walking down one of the alleys and there was a pie plate with appeared to be someone eating a pigeon. I don't know if I want to shower there. Oh, we hit the wrong button. That's the toilet. Shower. He does shower out there with his head hanging out. That way he can watch to make sure nobody's going for the Johnson. Nice leather interior. Very nice. Got a little sink over there, it appears. Maybe a little toaster oven up there. Wow. Now that don't look comfy. That right there, my lower back says, hey, what the are you doing? My lower back would be killer. Oh, you got ketchup on the door right by the toilet. That's great. That's good. Nice little cooler, it appears. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, he does have a conventional oven, a little sink, a little burner. Power. I wonder where he's getting his power from. Probably stealing it or paying for the power. Little plexiglass windows on the side to bring in some light. That's kind of neat. It kind of like this comes up and out. Like it folds up and folds down. Like the lid comes down. That's unique. I don't know if I would sit out there and just to be comfortable, though. I don't know. That's a little weird. What's he serving? Oh, okay. Heating himself. All right. That's fine. Got a little grill out there. Oh, use a little pallet as a little welcoming mat area. And the grill looks like it attaches to the side of the house. That's kind of neat. Which would make sense that you would want to cook on the outside of that. It could get really hot in there like an oven. You know, it's metal. Really proud of his project. Kind of neat. I wonder if this was a new dumpster. We'll have to find out in the article. And then these are kind of cool. Well, that's not about the story, so let's go ahead and get on with the story here. So many different types of, ones. One man's trash is another man's treasure, but for few other men, his trash is valuable as it is to Gregory Clowen, an artist, a designer, and a micro-home builder from Oakland, California. His dumpster home is perfect and quite literal proof of that. I think it's kind of neat. It definitely is a fancier, upscale one compared to what we're used to seeing on the channel. And these days we hear and read a lot about tiny homes and other mobile living alternatives in vans and buses and conversions and anything in between. And recent developments with the international health crisis and everything it brought along working from home, the downsizing movement, and not least of all, the housing and the economic crisis have propelled the once niche tiny house movement into the spotlight, which it really does need to be into the spotlight. Think about it. You take a house payment, for instance, that's $800-900 a month, and you're going to pay that for the next 30 years. A tiny house you can own and own the land in a lot less time and be able to do a lot more with your money. Why are we, we'll get to that subject soon. I'm not going to go ahead and break off on something. With the incredible boost to the tiny house movement, which has led to a boost in the range of options available for these planning for transition, tiny houses living remains prohibitively priced. Unless you're willing or are skilled enough to do most of the work yourself, tiny living implies a starting cost that's still putting many off. Back in 2011, one man proved that living in a tiny living, I can't even read today, man. One man proved that tiny living didn't necessarily have to be expensive. In fact, he showed that you could make a home virtually out of anything with reduced costs. As long as you were brave enough or mad enough to try it, and that you could even put a luxury spin on it, even with an incredibly compact layout. Case in point, $2,000 for a city dumpster. I wonder if that is used city dumpster, though. That's maybe my kicker. I think I would want a new one, just so you don't have all the household chemicals, etc. And as an artist, he's a designer, he's a plumber, and a micro home builder. Gregory, which we've already talked about there, he was based in Oakland, California, and his dumpster house is now iconic and is often referred to as one of the smallest and most creative examples of tiny living. The microhome is also mobile and can travel as far as you're willing to push it. Really? As far as you're willing to push it. I guarantee you're not going to push it very far in one day. I bet that's quite a bit of weight. Maybe if you grease the wheels well. I don't know. As the name says, the home is a dumpster, but one that's been repurposed and fitted with all comforts and creatures of home. And then some, I don't know, all comforts of home. I seen that bed. It didn't look like no Tempur-Pedic. It features a mini bar on the door. What is with these homeless people, or not homeless people, tiny living people, where they got to have a bar? Why do we always got to go back to them having a drinking problem? An exterior barbecue, a shower, a toilet, a kitchen, a lounge, and a bedroom, which are one and the same, and a rooftop deck. Finished our granite countertops, countertops, hardwood floors, and stainless steel for the kitchen. So it has a real residential feel to it. I don't know if that would be real residential to me. Green walls would just throw me off. The dumpster home might make even the most passionate downsizer turn their nose at the kind of downsizing it purposes. But that would probably not bother Clowen in the past, as he would explain in 2014 in a series of interviews with some of the biggest media outlets in the U.S. His goal with the project was to prove that you can make a home out of the most surprising and the smallest space, especially in a city like New York, where housing was neither easily accessible or nor affordable. And that's the way it is almost everywhere here recently. It doesn't matter if you're in New York, Indiana, California. Housing is tough right now, and boy, is it high. The dumpster home, as if it proves it was a practical housing alternative, even for a long-term use. I don't know about long-term use. That's just depends on the size of the dumpster, and I don't see a lot that would hold me down to this build. It took Clowen 6 months for the project to be finished. He said it was a record for him. Comes with running water and a sink in the kitchen and the hidden toilet, as well as the exterior shower, thanks to a 6-gallon tank. Once you hook it up for electricity, you have working lights and power for home. Appliances like a cooler, a toaster oven, and the kitchen also has a 1-burner propane stove, some counter space to prep meals for one. During the daytime, there's a couch in the middle that can seat up to 3 people. 3 people on that dumpster. That's going to get hot. Can you imagine on like a summer day, 90s, no AC in that thing? 3 people sitting there playing cards. One of the benches hides the toilet. Well, what happens when you got to use the toilet when you got a guest over? Asking for a friend. The roof can pop up to reveal windows that allow in fresh air and natural light and standing height at night. The couch comes to a bed. With the roof lowered, the dumpster becomes inconspicuous on city streets. So would you really want it to be inconspicuous, though? I mean, seriously. You have the dumpster grabbers for the truck to grab it and dump it. I don't think I want to be inconspicuous. I don't want to be dumped. Because there's only so much space inside, Clowen added a shower on the outside as well as a propane barbecue. Up on the roof is a deck that can easily support 2 people. Just add a sun umbrella and you're set for a party. The idea of living in a dumpster and calling it a mobile home might come across as an oddity, or at its best some sort of artistic statement and the kind we've seen before, but the goal behind the project was a very serious one. It paved the way for homelessness projects like Clohan ran out of Oakland well into 2016, building micro houses for the homeless. He only used the dumpster home to generate media attention in its initiative for using he called homeless architecture to design habitats out of trash that he gave out to the homeless, which people really need. And I've heard of movements like this before where people will build a dumpster or for the and give them away, which I think is a really neat in kind gesture for humanity. And I think that's something that we should be doing. I'm all for communities coming together, building a tiny house area, especially like a trailer court, or it doesn't necessarily have to be a trailer court, but something like that of that. People to have tiny housing that you can afford. It's a house that you can afford on working like at Dollar General or McDonald's. It's a house that you can afford, and it's something you can be proud of. They're better than a trailer in most instances. I mean, a house is my favorite. Deep down is what I like to see for the homeless and people that can't afford a standard house. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to live in a tiny house. It's time that we stop looking down upon it and start accepting it. Because I don't know about you, I don't want to work every day for the rest of my life to pay for a house when we could be traveling and spending more time with our kids and family. Bottom line, that's always the goal. Anyways, thanks for watching. Would you live in this luxury dumpster compared to the other stuff that we covered on other videos? Would you live in this dumpster? Tempur-Pedic bed, but I think I would. It kind of reminds me of the Two Broke Girls dumpster, like I said earlier. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Take care and have a good day.